Well, it's time to rip and tear and slice and dice because Cynthia's Garchomp is finally here. Hey, this is Gatorex, and yes, time for another deck showcase video. We got Garchomp here, one of the brand new cards introduced in Space Time Smackdown. It's very interesting. We'll go ahead and talk about it. So here's a deck list. Obviously, it's up here. This is my deck list. I know that everyone's kind of different. Mine is a little limited because I just have not pulled things like, the big cape, stuff like that. So this is what I'm rocking, and in all honesty, I kind of dig this. So let's go in and talk about Garchomp. Obviously, pretty standard here in the deck list. We got two Druddigon. Those are a very good stall Pokemon. Just one of the best stall Pokemon right now in the game. Just the fact that it has rough skin and it's a big Pokemon. One downside is, energy is a little weird and the retreat cost. Let's go in and get into Gible though. Finally, we have some more Dragon Pokemon. So Gible, Gabite, and then Garchomp. Garchomp is the one we want to be chatting about. This is a Stage 2, 140 HP Dragon Pokemon. Reckless Shearing allows you to discard a card from your hand and then draw a card. So it really lets you cycle. Though it is, you discard first and then you draw. So you can't do it on an empty hand. Dragon Claw for a water and a fighting deals 100 damage. That's pretty nice. Everything else in the deck is standard, but the one big thing we're playing is Cynthia, because that's what makes the deck tick. So supporter card during this turn, attacks used by your Garchomp or Togekiss do 50 damage more to your opponent's active Pokemon. So a bigger boost than we've seen in anything else in the game. So that means that Garchomp hits for 150 on only 2 energy for a Stage 2 Pokemon. So those are the downsides. The downsides are Stage 2 and the energy is a little weird. We'll go and discuss the pros and cons at the end, but that's basically it. The other things I guess we'll talk about, we got Pokemon Communication. I've only got one in there because I just have not pulled a second, but in all honesty, I'm kind of liking it at 1. It's a really good thing for your Stage 2 Pokemon decks because it allows you to just kind of switch them out. Say if you draw the Stage 2 early game and you don't necessarily need it right now and you need to get into a basic or Stage 1 quicker, there's that. Or if you have, extra basics that you want to swap out. The other thing is Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet is there now that we've got Pokemon Tools. You attach this to Druddigon and it makes it even more intimidating, dealing 40 damage just sitting there while you get to build up your Garchomp in the back. That's the idea of the deck. I've seen people use Marshadow and Manaphy to take advantage of the energy here. Manaphy, I'll discuss my gripes or, I tested those. They didn't work too well for me. I found that while Marshadow is cool, I would much rather just really try to make sure I build up Garchomp. Manaphy's neat, but it takes your water energy. And if you don't get your water energy on anything else, and you don't get Manaphy there, I feel like they work much better in the mono-type decks. So for a Dragon type that's using both of those, that's my idea. So let's go and jump to some battles and see if we can showcase the deck. So we're just jumping into regular random online battles here, not in the Emblem event that is going on right now, but this is the deck that I have been using in the Emblem event. Let's see, interesting open, got Druddigon here, however, no Gible to start things off with. There are a good amount of games where I would just basically open up the entire Garchomp line in my hand, so there's that. That's funny. Starting off with Giratina here. Now that's the question, what is the Psychic deck that they're playing? I'm going to get the energy attached first, which would be really great. And it looks like it is, looks like it's Gardevoir Licky with Giratina as a stall. Giratina is a really good other stall Pokemon because it's just really easy to retreat as long as it has an energy attached. Yeah, I can definitely see the vision with this deck. So we need to make sure they get taken care of before anything happens. And unfortunately, one of these games, and what did I attach to the one in the back? One of these kinds of games where you just don't open your Gible, and so then it's a little difficult, and it's like, well, I don't want to waste my energy attachment, so let me attach it to a Druddigon here. They're looking really good though with the Giratina up front, and they can start evolving. There's the Licky right there. The Giratina has a free retreat now, and are we going to see an evolution on the Ralts? Not yet. That's really scary, but we got a professor's research, and good, the energy lineup does still look good. There's Gible, and there's a Rocky Helmet. So now we can kind of be in business a bit. Let's go ahead and get our own Rocky Helmet going with Druddigon, and then we can start attaching energy to that Gible, and then we'll end. At least having 2 Druddigons is kind of nice, because if we get hit with Sabrina, then we can just swap out the other. They're going, not slow, but, it's taking them a while to get things going. Drew into the Curlier now, so now they're getting to evolve it. Cresselia is coming out. That's the regular Cresselia, which is a little bit of an annoyance. Just the fact that it has 110 HP. That's really funny. But we'll probably see the energy go on to Licky Licky right now. And then probably next turn, if they drew into Gardevoir, they'd evolve into Gardevoir. Oh, energy on the Cresselia right now. Yeah, I guess that does make sense because, like I said, Garchomp is going to have a little bit of a difficult time with it. But now we've got Gabite going, and as long as we can keep drawing into Cynthia, we can kind of just keep knocking everything out. Might see an attack come from the Giratina right now. Probably not, for only 70. What do we really? Really? An attack from the, really? Right away? Okay, because that puts it down to 80. And ideal would be if I drew Leaf. That's not Leaf. But we can draw into it. Actually, I will not need this Pokemon communication anymore, so we can go in and Reckless Shearing it away. And it'd be really cool if I drew Leaf, because then that's... Oh my gosh! Kind of goated. We're kind of goated. I'm going to stick this other energy on the Gibble. We're going to Leaf to retreat Druddigon out of there. And we can attack now, take away their energy, and then if other things come out, I think we can do a funny swap back in. But I think right now the priority is getting rid of this Giratina, just running in, getting a free knockout, getting rid of the energy off the board, even though they do have Gardevoir, but they have not attached anything at all to Licky Licky. Definitely, okay, Cresselia comes out, and that's going to be like another difficult thing to deal with because it's weird, but we can actually... You know, we can actually Sabrina. No, do I want to do that? No. I don't think I Sabrina. It would have been nice if I had a Rocky Helmet to stick on this Garchomp, because then we can tag the Cresselia. In game... Okay, cool. Game freeze a little. There's Mewtwo. There's a Rocky Helmet on the Cresselia. And an energy to Mewtwo. So it does look like they're really going to want to get Mewtwo out here. That's not good having Garchomp getting some damage on there. But we can actually do that. We can X-Speed... Well... I think I do just hard retreat it. Okay, we can discard water energies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that opportunity to attach it back. And I'm going to dig deeper into the deck, just to make sure we can maybe get the other Garchomp established soon. That Pokeball is not going to be good, so I can Reckless Shearing it again next turn. I'm going to stay like that. I'm going to end. This is an interesting one. This is an interesting one. I think the fact they're playing Rocky Helmet and they're playing like more stall Pokemon is really kind of not messing me up, but like is definitely like difficult to deal with. If I have like, if I can find some kind of salvation and like get another Garchomp going, then I can actually sacrifice this one here. That's not it. That's not the Gabite. Oh, I really need to be the Gabite. Because otherwise it's like, okay, I could bring in this one, attack with the Cresselia, sacrifice it with... Okay, I'm going to stay. I'm going to attach that. It's going to heal, but I'm going to stay like that, actually. I'm going to stay like that, is what I'm going to do. Because this is interesting. We need the Mewtwo to come out so that I can just come back and hit it. I think actually what I do is I send out Garchomp. I've got 4 cards left in deck. What I do is I send out Garchomp. I hope I draw into Gabite. Use this Garchomp to knock out Cresselia. Evolve into Gabite. And then I can knock out the Mewtwo easy. That kind of does it. That actually kind of does it. The one... Okay, we're going to do it. Draw the last card in deck. Discard the Pokeball. There's the Gabite. Oh boy. That's the one thing I at least kind of like about this deck, is that you do just kind of end up drawing your entire, like, all of it and get what you need. And thankfully, because we're not playing EX Pokemon, they're not going to get the right amount of KOs. So I think probably what they want to do is... they probably don't want to send out Mew... Oh, no. They're sending out Mewtwo. Wow, really? That's not the... Unless they have a cape in their hand. Unless they have the cape in hand. Then that stops me. I don't think they do. With everything else they're playing and with the Rocky Helmets, I really don't think they have the cape. Okay, there's Sabrina. So then what? Then I just send out Judagon. And I'm glad I attached an energy to it because now it's ready to retreat whether they attack or not. Oh, really? Wow. They threw the game. That's it. That's just the game. Yeah, we didn't even need the helmet on the Judagon. So now we just send out Garchomp, activate Cynthia, and then attack for game. Draw the entire deck. You know, let's do it. Let's evolve into the Garchomp. And then just show them we had it. I mean, you know, no doubt. They probably figured we had it. You know, the thing is with Cynthia is you don't even need the Rocky Helmets to get over Mewtwo, but they're nice because they make the math work. If you see like Licky was there, Licky can't be one-shot by Garchomp, so that's what helmets are for. But anyway, that's one victory for Garchomp. Let's go. So here we are with another battle, and we're going second. We'll see how things go. Going up against a Darkness deck, that's not good, but starting off with Judagon, and got the Rocky Helmet in hand, got a Professor's Research, actually two Professor's Research, so we can go ahead and start drawing from there. That's kind of nice. And they're taking a while to decide what's gonna... Okay, but two Pokemon. There's their own Judagon, and it's actually Scolipede. Let's go. I feel a little bad because it's like, oh, not that Scolipede's bad, but it's definitely not as like not as crazy as Darkrai. I think there is a really good chance we just get going. There's Gibble, very nice. Water Energy ready to go next turn. Stick the Rocky Helmet on Judagon, and then we definitely just battle. We just do that and see where this goes. They're obviously not going to get any evolutions on this turn, but they'll get the energy attachment, which is puts them at an advantage. What are they going to want to do? They're going to want to obviously leave Judagon in the front and start building up in the back. Probably get a Weezing going. But as long as I just draw the evolutions I need, I think I outpace them enough. Especially because I start off with two Professor's Research, just absolutely ideal and absolutely optimal there. And there's the Garchomp. Okay, so I'm going to reliably be able to evolve into it, and the energy lineup does look nice. It's one of those days where it just matches perfectly. So let's do that, and I think we just pass, because then next turn, attach the other energy. I have Leaf in hand. I use Leaf to retreat Judagon, swap into Garchomp and attack. Gonna take some chip damage, which isn't really cool. But the fact that they have Weezing out already, maybe I wait, because in that kind of scenario where I knock out Judagon, I take 20 damage, Weezing comes out, poisons me, and then if they Koga it back to hand and have the Scolipede, so they need to have Koga and Scolipede in hand, and there's a good chance they do have it. So we don't need the communication right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and discard it and start drawing. The Judagon's there is nice because then we're kind of safe from Sabrina for the moment, but I'm gonna wait. If they're gonna sit on their Judagon, I will sit on mine. Then there's a Darkrai. Uh-oh, that's not good. Will we see the Darkrai come out? I feel like they would have evolved into Scolipede if they had it in hand. I think I'm still going to wait. I think I'm still gonna wait. Probably not good though. I kind of want to bait their. I kind of want to bait their Scolipede to come out, because then I can one-shot it. I can turn around and one-shot it easy. Maybe I shouldn't have hesitated that much. Let's go ahead and just. I think we're gonna chill. I think we're going to chill. That's the thing. That's kind of the thing that I found with Garchomp, is that if you're in a position where you're just kind of like sitting and waiting and your opponent is, like sometimes the math works out in a way that like you just kind of get them. Let me do that, then we can retreat. Let me pass. Let me pass. Maybe I should have stuck the helmet on. I don't know who I should stick the helmet on. Because we can one-shot everyone, but it does kind of keep scaring them. Okay, so they're definitely waiting for me to move first. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for them to move first. And I think we're okay. We're in a decent position because will we see? No, they wouldn't send out the Darkrai. Yeah, he's really just like big chilling. That is the problem, though, is that I do just get got by Scolipede. No way they don't have Koga. No way they don't have Koga. I think maybe I waited too long. Honestly, I think I just end. They're definitely gonna have, like... Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have waited. Because I really want them to make the first move. That's kind of how, like, Garchomp works, is that, like, it just kind of, like, sits and waits, I feel. I mean, I could Sabrina. But if I do, they're just gonna choose Coughing, and I can't one-shot Coughing. I cannot one-shot Coughing. Man, this is such a... Okay, so we gotta get this Druddigon out of here. And we're just gonna swap it for the other. Maybe they'll break and attack first. Man, this is a really bad situation. This is a really bad situation. They're not even going. So I think we just get to a stalemate eventually and just pass. And like, we're gonna tie. We're gonna legitimately tie if like we spend too long just doing this. So I'm gonna do it, actually. We're gonna Sabrina. And then Weezing's gonna come out. Yeah, Weezing comes out. And we're just gonna go for it. This probably spells my doom. Especially because I had to Sabrina and like I didn't get the extra attack on the Weezing. But now it poisons, and then Scolipede comes out. But I don't think Scolipede... I forget, how much does it do? How much does it do with it? Man, this is like the worst possible, absolutely worst possible deck to go up against for a deck showcase like this. Oh, that's right, they can still Darkrai. So now, yeah, they do just win with Scolipede. Actually, I kind of think they don't. Oh, yeah, because then I knock out their Scolipede. But then what? Actually, yeah, okay. So I knock out their Scolipede with a Cynthia. After that, then what do they do? Like, Weezing again? And then Weezing just dies in one hit? They can Darkrai, but Darkrai doesn't knock me out in one hit. And conversely, I do the same to Darkrai. Actually, no, this is just... Actually, this is still just favorable. Because they can't get to a range. Okay, they can chip me. Oh, they do get... Okay. Which, between chip damage and 2 Darkrai attaches, they do actually get into range. Oh, man. Yeah, the Druddigon does it. You know, honestly, I think I'd just be petty and pass. No, you make the move. Otherwise, we're going to tie. Go ahead. Tie. Actually, at this point, yeah, I honestly do just retreat to Druddigon. I think we can pass enough turns to reach the tie before I get knocked out with the Darkrai. Okay, there's a Sabrina, and then there. And that's not good. Oh, they're doing it. No, they're going to Wheezing. Oh, no, they're okay. They've had enough. Man, again, absolutely worst game, absolutely worst deck for this to happen with. I think maybe they just figured, like, all right, fine, I don't want to be here. Does that count as bad sportsmanship to like, just be passing like that? I mean, you know, it's progressing to a state where now I just win. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, worst. Should I even like show this in the video? I don't think I'm gonna show this in the video. I mean, if I do, then like, well, let's see if we can't get one more good game here. They got the Piplup profile picture. That's kind of neat. Going second, liking that, and we're going up against the water. Some using water. 2 Gabites in hand, Judagon, and a Pokeball in the hand. So hopefully that means you can start off with a Gibble and get that going first turn. And it can start attaching energy. Oh my gosh, would you believe it? It's a mirror match. Okay. You know, I see this as a win. This is an absolute win. Whichever deck wins, hey, it shows it off. So we're gonna go ahead and go for the Pokeball. And there's a Gibble. That's nice. I'm gonna wait a turn on the communications, and hopefully my energy zone will cooperate with me. Theirs looks like it is. Mine's being a little weird. I really hope that I don't end up with like all fighting for like most of the game. Research, okay, they got two research back to back. I mean, you know, would be nice. And a Pokeball would be really nice to get into the rest of my deck. Okay. Sabrina, so they've already got the 2 Judagon out, so they're safe from Sabrina. Unfortunately, it's like, oh, cool. Just a bad game for me because it looks like we're getting all fighting energy. I said I was gonna use the communications. But we're not in I'm not at a point where using communications like has a good chance of getting me a Garchomp. And even then, I don't have the energy for it anyway. I'm already ahead of them, though. Red card. Oh, they're playing red card in this. What the heck? I mean, they fixed my hand. No Gabite for them. I mean, kind of, I guess, just shows you. And cool. Next turn, we're gonna get going. Next turn, we're rolling. Actually, we can, I can discard, yeah, I can discard this. And then maybe there's a good chance I start getting the other one. There's a Gabite. We're gonna end on this. That's actually really nice, though. Wow, 6 cards. Wow, no Gabite yet. Okay, that's honestly a green light for me to go ahead and 10 cards. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Reckless Shearing, discard the communications to draw, and that's Cynthia. That's kind of nice. We'll attach this. I'll retreat for Garchomp, and I can knock out this Judagon. And if they bring out another, I knock it out too. But unfortunately, I don't have a way of getting my. Do I? No, I just go straight for it. Go right for it. I was considering attaching the helmet, but if anything, I might just discard it next turn. It's bad though because it puts me in the range. Like, the thing is, I was always going to be in range for a one-shot because no way they don't have Cynthia in their hand right now. But really bad that oh, a Rocky Helmet, okay. If they don't evolve either of those into Gabite right now, then it's really, really bad for them. But I really need to get my other Gibble going. I feel like we would have seen the evolution if they had it. Blue. Okay. Well, there's my other Garchomp. So on, okay. We're gonna Reckless Shearing, discard the helmet. Reckless Shearing, discard the helmet. There you are. And then this boy's all ready. and now we Sabrina and make the blue not matter, and then take out one of the Gibbles. And I think we just run away with the game from here. Oh, okay. Man, they got some interesting choices. I haven't seen anybody using red card and blue in their Garchomps. You know, maybe, I don't know what the reasoning is. I can see blue, right? Because that, with Druddigon, that's nice. But now unless they have another blue, then that just kind of means that's a game for me. Finally got a Gabite going. And then, yeah, we just go ahead and, yeah. Opponent concedes. There it is. So I guess, you know, that'll at least show you the different versions of it. So we're back with the deck, and okay, so it's gonna be an interesting one because the games I got were just really not good ones. That's the problem with this deck, is that, like, okay. So when you win big. When you lose really, really hard. Or there are just situations where maybe, like, within the first few turns, you can definitively see that this is not a winnable game, and so it's not worth continuing. Meanwhile, there are some other games where, like, you go on so long and maybe you make, like, one small mistake at the very end, and then it just feels really demoralizing. So let's go and discuss the pros and cons. Again, I probably did only show wins because the losses are just really, really just quick, where it's like, okay, I can't win this, and I concede. So just letting you know that, like, I played a handful of games here. I don't think I got the best matchups, but I've been recording for a while, and I'll tell you this, I won half and I lost half, so that's how it is. This deck is, like, pretty much definition of, like, we're so back, it's so over. We're so back, it's so over. We're so back. So pros. The pros are that Druddigon is good. I don't know if that counts, but you know, you can just play Druddigon here. If there comes a day when we get dragon support, or, you know, a card that actually, like, helps out with dragon types, then it's gonna go pretty crazy. Otherwise, Garchomp, the pros to Garchomp are that for only 2 energy, hitting for 100 damage is great. Combined with Cynthia hitting for 150, that knocks out a lot of Pokemon, and that makes it really hard. Even, like, just dealing 100 damage does a lot. For one thing, it one-shots Druddigon. And it can take a decent amount of damage. 140 HP is just what it should be for a stage 2 Pokemon, though it's not the highest, but it's okay. Reckless Shearing is really nice, allowing you to, once you finally get your big win condition established, not only is it a big attacking Pokemon, but it's a support Pokemon to allow you to draw. You basically just, the point is that you just wait and you stall and you draw your entire deck and you have everything you need, hopefully, to beat your opponent. Let's see, what other pros we got? Yeah, Cynthia is a good card. Garchomp, like, Cynthia and Garchomp combined just make, like, a pretty powerful Pokemon. Those are the pros. It can be fast. Again, for only 2 energy. Hypothetically, if everything goes the way that you want, Gibble into Gabite into Garchomp, then by your 3rd turn, your energy stacked, and you're ready to roll. And you're just knocking out stuff left and right. The pros are is that 150 is kind of a bit of a magic number. Mewtwo, one-shots Mewtwo, one-shots a lot of other things under that range, obviously. The cons, boy, oh boy, there are some cons. So the cons are that it's a stage 2 deck. So you have to evolve into it. And the fact that your final payoff is not an EX Pokemon is not amazing. You know, the upside is that, like, it can really hit the damage of the EX Pokemon that you would expect. The downside is that the HP is not high enough. 150 does one-shot a lot of things, but you yourself get hit by that 150. Downsides are you got to deal with the downsides of Druddigon, where it just sits there. Yes, it's a very good wall, but it's hard to get out of the active spot unless you have that energy. Speaking of energy, that's another big downside, is that it's a dragon deck, and that every Pokemon attacking requires 2 different types of energy. Just the way that the energy zone works in this game, I absolutely hate it. It is a terrible mechanic. In all honesty, it is terrible. I should make a video discussing that at some point, but sometimes you just get games where you're getting all fighting energy and absolutely no water, and you just can't do anything. And that gives your opponent the time they need to get it. And that's why I say there are just some times where you look at the board state, you look at your current energy and your next energy, and you can just determine that this is not a winnable game. And so you really should concede. I concede a lot with this deck because that's the problem. You know, so con is that the problem is that the energy zone is something that is totally out of your control. The only way you can control that is by playing a different deck that's only monotype, and I don't want to do that. Well, I mean, I could with something else. Cons are, you know, I should have said it for the pro. But Garchomp is just a great, beautiful card, absolutely amazing. It's balanced, but it is very good once it actually gets on the field and once it has the energy it needs. You can retreat for 1. Cons, yeah, I think that's just about what I want to discuss with the cons. The cons is that like it's hard to get going, but if you do, in the situation where you draw absolutely what you need, you can just get started and you can get going faster than your opponent. So that's kind of it. That's a look at it. Like I said, I showed like, I don't think I showed the best of it, and especially like, oh, the cons, you know, hey, let's mention another con. The con is that 150, yes, it hits a lot of things, but it does not hit a lot of other things. Anything that's 160, you need help with the Rocky Helmets, you need help with the Druddigons, or you need help with hopefully Gabite or Gibble dealing a little damage before they finally evolved. But mostly you want to keep your big dragon on the bench before bringing out your other ones. So there's that. The downside is that like, yeah, it really does just like have a hard time going up against things like Gyarados, because it doesn't one-shot Gyarados. And if you have your Garchomp built up, there's a really good chance they already have their Gyarados built up, and Gyarados does one-shot you back for 140. Exeggutor is a little crazy to deal with because like it has 160 HP. It doesn't do a lot of damage right away, but it gets started. It gets rolling fast. It needs only a little energy, so that's another problem. Other things like you know, Golem. I was running into Golem a lot in the emblem, and that was just like I don't think there's a really a good way for me to win against Golem except just be faster. Just have your deck ready to attack faster. And that's a hard ask sometimes, because otherwise then Golem, you can't one-shot Golem, and it does a lot of damage to you. And the thing is that with Garchomp, it really needs to one-shot. The chip damage with Druddigon is nice, but if you're not knocking out a Pokemon with a single attack from Garchomp, then the deck's just not working. It's not optimal, because then Garchomp's really susceptible. Weird to call it a glass cannon because it does have 140 HP, but it does kind of feel like a glass cannon a bit. So that's the deck. Those are my thoughts on it. I think it is an okay deck, but it's a very nice low rarity, because all you have is you know, very likely you have your Druddigons here. Everybody's got one of those. The rarest card is going to be your Garchomp, which is a regular 3 diamond one. So there's that. It's a fun one, and I just really like Garchomp. I love it. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, so I'm glad to be able to play it. Like I said, once we do get something that helps Dragon Pokemon, you know, I could see maybe in the distant future, hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe we just get a supporter that allows you to accelerate energy properly onto your Dragon Pokemon. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you enjoy this. Like I said, I think maybe the battles weren't the best, but hopefully if I can start doing some more streams, maybe we'll play this deck on some streams. Streams are a bit on hiatus. If you're digging around, you probably know that I fractured my ankle, so it makes sitting down for videos a little harder to do, but I'm healing. So hopefully you can follow me on twitch.tv/GatorEXP, and I'll be streaming some Pokemon TCG Pocket on there hopefully soon. And then maybe we can see more Garchomp battles there. Maybe we'll get some good ones. Let me know if you got any other decks you'd like to see. I've got another one lined up that I'm going to be doing next, and that's a plan. Anyway, this is GatorX. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.